What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. Right now, I'm feeling like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Weisz.
Dr. Jeremy Weisz here. I am the founder and host of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders. Today is no different. And this is a special episode. I am actually interviewing founders and CEOs live at the Sweets and Snacks Show. And so check it out. We have some amazing companies featured. Check this episode out. And before I get to that, this episode is brought to you by Rise 25. At Rise 25, we help businesses give to and connect to their dream 100 relationships. How do we do that? We help you run your podcast. We are an easy button for an organization or business to launch and run your podcast. I've been podcasting for over a decade now. You know, for me, the number one thing in my life is relationships. I'm always looking at ways to give to my best relationships. And I found no better way to do that than to profile the people and the companies I most admire, feature them on my podcast, and shout from the rooftops what they're working on and what they're doing. So if you've thought about starting a podcast, you should. If you have questions, you can go to rise25.com or email us support@rise25.com to learn more. Now, check out today's episode. Live from the Sweet and Snack Show. Jeremy Weisz here, live at the Sweets and Snacks Show. I'm here with Sucker Punch. I didn't even realize you guys were native to Illinois. Talk about the company and a little about what you guys do.
Yeah, for sure. The company was founded by someone named David Van Alphen. Great guy, artist, gallery curator here in Chicago. And when his son was born with Down syndrome, he became a stay-at-home dad and was really focused on, taking care of the kids and making sure they had the best outcome. And, David's a serial maker, a serial DIYer, a serial entrepreneur. So when he was at home, he started pickling. He wanted to start eating healthier, make sure he was there for his family. Started creating Sucker Punch pickles and selling it at farmers markets, and he'd give it to his friends and they'd be like, that late heat that hits you, it hits you like a sucker punch. And that's how the name was born. And so it's kind of one man in a truck going to farmers markets for a long time.
Love the hustle.
He was total hustler. He was able to sell it into Whole Foods locally, about 15 stores. And that's when it started to really take off. And he started then taking our Bloody Mary mix, where he would puree the pickled cucumbers and some of the brine and use that as kind of the vinegar in his Bloody Mary mix. And that would give it a really interesting texture, a little thicker Bloody Mary, which, is a little bit bolder, a little bit thicker, and that really started to take off. And so he thought, maybe I have myself a business here, right? And he found some investors and started growing the brand. And, from one jar of pickle is original spicy garlic to 2 to 3 and 2 flavors of Bloody Marys. And now, we've become a top 10 pickle in the grocery category. We're in about 8 or 9 different jar flavors. We have pickles in a pouch. And we like to make sure that we're giving something for everybody. So our pickles in a pouch, we have a sweet, we have a sour, we have a spicy, so something for everybody there. We're also moving into pickle juice. We have pickle juice with probiotics and a digestion flavor with ginger, and we have pickle juice with hydration, magnesium, calcium, potassium, the things that runners and athletes need in a 2-ounce shot as well as an 8-ounce. So we always say it's perfect for your first round as a pickleback or for your last lap if you're an athlete. So we've been having a lot of fun with that, and the newest, most interesting thing we're doing is we're working with Distill Brewery in Normal, Illinois. They're distributed in about 28 states, and they're really known for their sour ales, lambics and gosas. We're working with them to make a Sucker Punch pickle Gosa Ale. And it's already been developed and it's launching on June 1st. And it's kind of just got that little Sucker Punch kind of bold kick in a sour Gosa Ale, and we're really excited about seeing how that one does in the market. For us, it's not so much about volume on that. It's really just having fun, doing pickles differently, and kind of having fun and adding flavor to the category.
Talk about the decision to do the hydration, the pickle juice, right? Because it's interesting. I mean, I've seen these all over the place, and I was thinking, okay, now how do you decide, should we go into the hydration, which is the pickle juice? Do we not? As a CEO, how do you decide whether to go in that direction or not?
Yeah. For us, we want to make sure that, we're a pickle brand and we really want to be number one in pickles, and we might extend it to new categories, but for us, it's like, how do we do pickles land, sea, and air? So like jars, great, but you can't take them with you, so we put them in pouches. We want you to be able to have them on a hike. What we noticed was people were like, oh, when I'm done with these, I drink the juice, and it helps me hydrate.
I've heard NFL players will drink the pickle juice just to hydrate for electrolytes.
For sure. We'll see Tyreek Hill on the sidelines, right? Drink it out of a pickle jar. When we started to see that, we really thought to ourselves, maybe there's something here. This old folk remedy is coming back. And so we started talking to athletes and run clubs in Chicago, and we found, it just blew my mind how many people were using pickle juice for cramp relief or for hydration. And through those conversations, some of them were like, and my mom or my grandma, she uses it more for digestion, to settle the stomach afterwards. And so we thought to ourselves, like, we think a functional beverage makes perfect sense for pickle juice, and I think it's kind of that sucker punch, that kind of shot that you take back, really fits in with our brand. And when we looked in the category, we thought a lot of brands were doing it. We just didn't think they were doing it as well as we thought we could, with the right flavors and the right electrolyte profile. So some of the brands had like vitamin E and some other stuff that was helpful, but for us, if you look at Noon or Liquid IV, you'll see the same nutrition profile. We all get enough sodium in our diets, but we're missing magnesium, we're missing calcium, we're missing potassium. So all those other EMs, all those other electrolytes were really important for us to give to consumers, and we didn't see other pickle brands doing it.
What's your background and how did you get involved?
I've been in CPG my entire career in finance and in brand management. All at big CPG. I was at Kraft, I was at Kroger, I was at Anheuser-Busch, and I got involved with Sucker Punch 3 years ago when I was working with Conagra Brands. We acquired a brand called Frontera Foods, and one of the board members of Frontera was on the board of Sucker Punch, and he was like, hey, look, we could really use some new blood here, and maybe could you jump in and kind of help us out and see if we could take Sucker Punch to the next level? When I saw the brand and when I tried the product, I just fell in love. We all want to work on a product that we really think is tasty and we believe in, and I think it's just the best pickle out there, and I thought the brand had so much potential. I was just honored to come aboard.
I'm wondering from your perspective, because a lot of founders, they start it in their garage, and to take it to the next level, sometimes we need someone who's a professional CEO. I mean, sometimes founders stay on, but so I love to hear of, there's maybe a founder out there is like, should I bring on a professional CEO, should I not?
Yeah.
What should they be thinking about to take their brand to the next level?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's funny because when I came into Sucker Punch, the mistake I made was thinking, oh, they need another founder, or they need a founder with a little bit different experience, and that founder job is totally different than the CEO job, and so my mistake was like being founder 2.0, and that means you're doing everything and you're kind of rolling up your sleeves, and I love to roll up my sleeves. I'm still in the warehouse, go to sales meetings, but the CEO's got to focus on the strategy, the people, the finances, and so what I think is important for a founder to think about when they bring in a professional CEO, in your words, is can I let go, right? I mean, can I let go and allow this person to take this to the level it needs to be, right? And what does my role need to be in supporting them, right? And how can I bring the uniqueness of what they do and merge it in with what I do as a founder, which is, the Swiss Army knife that might go in and put out fires that will allow the CEO to focus on steering the ship, right? A lot of times the founder is down and in the company, and that's where his or her focus is. The CEO has to be up and out, and it shows like this, looking for new ideas and new partners, going down to a brewery in Normal, Illinois to look for new partners. And so I think there's a big synergy between the two, but I think the biggest thing, and not being a founder, but having seen it, is like that ability to let go of your baby and go, hey, there's another step parent coming in, and can we do this together?
Take it to the next level. So where can people find it? What's the website?
Yeah, we're at suckerpunchgourmet.com. And our products, we're sold in 18,000 stores now, so we're in Kroger, we're in Whole Foods, Albertsons, Publix, Travel Centers of America, Plaid Pantry, so we're moving into convenience stores. But if you really can't find it anywhere, come to our website, suckerpunchgourmet.com, look at the store locator, and hopefully we'll help you find it.
Sucker Punch, check it out, live from the Sweet and Snack Show.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sailing right now. I'm feeling like 100 grand.